surprisingly good year for movies.
Yeah, a lot of good
Yeah.
movies.
2004.
Lots of good comedies.
Yes.
Yeah.
2004 was big on comedies. We
Big.
had Dodgeball, Anchorman, Harold and Kumar, Girl Next Door, Meet the Fockers,
Ooh.
a bunch of them.
Girl Next Door, good movie.
Napoleon Dynamite, I think, was also 2004.
We got two more that we were going to talk about.
EuroTrip.
No, Road Trip's 2000. We're talking EuroTrip.
No, EuroTrip.
Oh,
yeah, EuroTrip.
EuroTrip, Shaun of the Dead. We'll be covering both of those ones.
Yeah.
But let's jump right into it. Well, before we jump right into it, you guys want to do before or after for the ones that have been sent to us on social and elsewhere?
Let's take a look at them now.
Yeah, let's start off with them.
All right, let's start with them now. We've got 3 films. We've got Spider-Man 2, the classic Spidey versus Doc Ock sequel from Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Movie.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Still think it's one of the best superhero sequels.
Still that guy's pizza.
Yeah. I think this was the second midnight movie I've ever seen.
Wow.
After Mortal Kombat. So there was
You saw Mortal Kombat at midnight?
Yeah, there was a large 9-year gap in between midnight movies for me.
Why did you see Mortal Kombat at midnight?
I saw Mortal Kombat for my neighbor's birthday at midnight.
Wow.
The twins next door. It was their birthday, and I was the only person invited, so my mom had to say yes.
Nice.
Because I wouldn't have been able to see it otherwise. I wasn't even allowed to see Street Fighter in theaters because fucking insanity.
I was. I did.
Oh, speaking of Mortal Kombat, the theme song is in the new movie.
Yes.
I've been reading that.
That's
so
amazing.
I think we're getting that theme song. So
Yes.
they did right.
Yes.
Praise the Lord. That's
Pass
fantastic.
the ammunition.
Yeah. Harold and Kumar, 2004.
Ooh.
But
Spicy.
yeah, man. I think 3 of the 4 of us saw it all together at midnight. This was a huge movie in 2004.
Gigantic.
If it wasn't for Shrek 2, it would have been the biggest of the year. Came out the July 4th weekend. I don't know. Like I said, I love it. I really dug the cliffhanger at the end with Harry Osborn finding out that he found out that Peter was Spider-Man and everything like that. So it was like Spider-Man 3 should have been so good.
It's a shame they didn't make a third one.
So much promise.
Yeah. They got to rectify that with
it's a shame that it didn't just end.
Spider-Man 3. But I don't know. What are some thoughts from you guys in regards to Spider-Man 2?
I'm shocked to find out that Shrek beat it in 2004. I really am. I don't understand the Shrek obsession.
You know what?
Shrek 2 was a good movie.
It is, but like, is it a good enough movie that it outgrosses Spider-Man 2 in a year?
Shrek 2 was the number 3 movie of all time when it opened.
Good Lord.
Yeah, that's insane.
Do you know what Spider-Man 2 just beat at the box office? It almost was number 3.
No, The Terminal.
No. The Passion of the Christ.
Oh, God.
It was right below Spider-Man 2.
Dude, we saw that in theaters on like Easter weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Fucking movie.
It had the Easter
depressing.
Bump. Oh, yeah. That was not a fun film.
Mel Gibson. You're a fucked up guy.
But yeah, anything else about Spider-Man 2?
Stole that guy's pizza.
That's all it needs to be
No,
said.
I mean, yeah, I already said what I had said about the Doc Ock. I mean, that's one of my favorite villains in superhero movies is the Alfred Molina portrayal. So,
yeah, that
movie.
scene in the operating room is horrifying.
Yeah,
and
that was Evil Dead, Sam Raimi.
Yeah,
that scene.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wonder if he kept that scene a secret from people and just threw it in the movie, because I find that hard to believe that they allowed him to put that in the movie.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it was
in there.
I remember the pre-hype for that one was high.
Yeah.
All right. What about, we're also in comic book territory with this one. The Punisher, not the one with John Bernthal or Dolph Lundgren or the other guy. I don't know. I can't think of his name.
In Warzone?
We've got the homeless dad, Tom Jane. Who here has seen that one with John Travolta as the villain?
I've seen
I've
it.
I've seen it, but I barely remember it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
from
so
what
did
I
thought it was good.
can barely remember.
It
I remember
was better than it
being
had
like,
any
oh,
right
this
to
was
be.
entertaining.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was surprising.
Yeah, I think I saw it like it was a rental.
It was pretty
Didn't
like
pay
I mean it's
any-
fucked up. Like it's not enjoyable in the fact that
Yeah.
it has a pretty awful beginning with his wife and kids dying or
Yeah.
kid. I don't remember if he has two or not. But
Wife and son, I think.
it was surprising that they didn't make a straight sequel to it and they just went straight for a reboot with Warzone.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a reboot? I thought it was a sequel.
I think it was a reboot. It was like 4 years later. It's a different actor.
And that movie was so
maybe it was a
gory.
sequel, but it
'Cause
didn't have
that's-
any of the same characters.
That's the Wild West of superhero movies. They just recast actors in between movies if the other one couldn't do it. So
Yeah.
I honestly
they didn't
thought
care
it was
as much
sequel.
about continuity back then.
No, not even a little bit. Even going into like Iron Man and Iron Man 2 when they got rid of Terrence Howard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the second one had a much more comic booky vibe to it. I mean, incredibly violent, but it felt more like a comic book. Like the first one kind of tried to feel like, again, I'm always throwing out this reference. It kind of John Wick feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was good. But I mean, for me, the Netflix Punisher is the Punisher.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, it was referenced earlier, The Terminal. The last two was referenced by Derek in New Jersey.
Shout out to Dirk.
This one we got Steve in Jersey. He said The Terminal was one that he really remembers from 2004. What were your overall thoughts on this one? Kind of like was marketed in a Catch Me If You Can type way, like a lot of the same like bright colors, like the poster kind of the same color scheme and everything like that. But it definitely, I don't know if it's even more dramatic than Catch Me If You Can, because Catch Me If You Can is kind of dramatic.
I've only seen this once. I mean, I remember enjoying it, but I do remember it being such a different type of performance for Tom Hanks. In a lot of ways.
He's got the
accent. Yeah, and the set design was awesome because they actually didn't they build like a working terminal for that movie?
I don't know if I mean, I don't know if it was a set, but they're definitely in an airport throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
I can't imagine in 2004 they would have really let them film in an active airport.
That's very true.
I think they built like a replica, like a scaled replica type of thing, if I remember correctly. But it was interesting. I remember really liking the music too.
Yes, John Williams killed it with the music. Good cast: Catherine Zeta-Jones, like supporting cast. Stanley Tucci, Diego Luna from Rogue One. He had a pretty big supporting part. Zoe Saldana, Chi McBride. It was one I saw in theaters. I haven't seen it since.
Yeah, same.
But I do remember enjoying it when I got out of the theater. Like it wasn't like damn man, Spielberg, you disappointed me. It was like, well done, not a classic, but well done.
I've never seen this. I thought it looked stupid when it came out.
Oh, you didn't see it with us?
No, I didn't see it with you guys. Now this was one of those ones where I saw the premise of it and I was like, this is dumb. I don't want to go see that.
You didn't see it either, Doug?
Nope.
Okay. Saw it at Valley View.
Yeah.
Good old Valley View.
Good old Valley View indeed.
For those who are not aware, Valley View used to be a porn theater, and then it turned into a very crappy theater, and now it's closed.
It had 2 screens.
Yes. It used to have 1 screen for really large porn.
Yeah.
But then they broke it down for 2 screens for a really poor viewing experience.
Yeah.
But it was close to our houses. It was good to get to when we had to basically walk to get to.
And it was cheap.
It was fucking dirt cheap.
Is that one of the ones where we had to like sit on the floor in the front of the movie theater to see movies on occasion?
For
Die Another Day.
Die Another Day.
Yeah.
They oversold fucking tickets, or other people bought tickets to the other movie and for some reason walked in the bond. I don't know what happened.
It's pretty confusing. There are 2 screens.
Yeah, and Bond wasn't rated R, so there'd be no reason to do that.
Yeah.
But it happened. But yeah, The Terminal. Now let's get into our 4 movies. Corey, kick us off.
Gonna kick it off with the wonderful comedy starring Christian Bale called The Machinist.
The riot. Laugh out loud.
Laugh a minute.
Yeah. No. So this movie is still one of like the most insane like character studies I've seen. Christian Bale kills it. I think this might have been one of the first movies I've seen with him. If people aren't familiar with it, Christian Bale lost an unbelievable amount of weight. He was like 80 pounds or like 90 pounds for this role. And he played. It was like kind of like a futuristic type of post-apocalyptic type of thing, and he played a character that was a machinist, and it just followed like his downward spiral throughout the film. I don't really remember exactly how it ends, but I do remember it not being very happy. Jennifer Jason Leigh's in it. She was really good. It has a couple other notable actors. And I believe the director, because I was looking at this earlier, the director created Titans or directed Titans. It was one of the things that he did.
Would make a lot of sense. It's pretty fucking dark show.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is a movie that I definitely have actually wanted to revisit because I did enjoy it, but it's something that you, akin to Uncut Gems, definitely can't watch it, very often. It's a draining type of character study, but very, very good.
What does a machinist do?
Services the machines. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw this movie once on my brother had it on DVD.
It seems like a Your Brother movie.
Yeah, it was like not fun.
Yeah, it's definitely not a fun movie.
Yeah, it's a very like depressing movie.
But it's impressive because Christian Bale, like, I don't know how he does the things that he does with his body. I mean, if
He's
I can
an
lose
actor.
50 pounds like he does, that'd be convenient.
And this was the movie that he did right before he became Batman, right?
Fat Man, yeah.
And he went from
185 pounds, I think, or was he too hundo for Batman?
I think he was
I think he was too hundo.
Jesus Christ!
They were like,
Yeah.
"Yo,
like
pump
two
the
like
brakes.
like 220,
Pump
like
the
something
brakes."
like that.
Jared Leto got lupus for doing shit like that, man. Because you can get lupus for like massive weight shifts like that. I am shocked that Christian Bale is still alive.
Yeah.
After some of the shit.
We are going to see him change his body for the next fucking 40 years if we're lucky.
Yeah, he's a crazy guy.
All right, Doug, you got another fucking really happy movie on yours for 2004. Like, really?
I mean, it depends which version of the movie you watch.
Nah, they're both fucking
What are you
depressing.
talking about? They're both really depressing.
Yeah, 99% of the movie is still depressing.
Depending on what movie you watch, the ending is happy.
What movie
so there's that?
He still had to
we're
go
talking
through
about the
hell to get
butterfly.
there.
We're talking about the butterfly effect, which starring Ashton Kutcher and Amy Smart. Probably one of the first times I saw Ashton Kutcher in a more serious role. They sucked me in with the concept, which is basically Ashton Kutcher's character has the ability to time travel without a time machine, and change for a very short period of time and change one moment in his life, which, as the name of the title implies, has a butterfly effect that completely changes his life in the present day. And so the majority of the movie is him going back in time, trying to make things better and fucking it up and making it way worse. There's the theatrical version of the movie where he finally gets it right and this figures out that him being in Ashton Kutcher being in Amy Smart's life is like what creates all these problems, he realizes, and I think he tells her to fuck off when they're kids. She moves away, and they both live happy lives separately, which is the happy ending, which I guess isn't really that happy now that I'm saying it out loud. The director's cut ending, though, he decides that he's the problem, and that what he needs to do is go back to when he was in the womb and strangle himself with his own umbilical cord, and that's how the movie ends.
Yeah.
The sad part is
And
there's way more fucked up things in the actual movie even than that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
JP, have you not seen this film?
I have not, and I don't think I'm gonna.
It's really, I think I have it on DVD. Yep, I have it on DVD. I'm looking right now. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
But it's really good.
Yeah, it's enjoyable.
It's by
It's a
far
good
the best thing that
sci-fi
Ashton
time
Kutcher's
travel.
ever done. It's better than Punk'd and that 70s show.
That's not a high bar.
I know. It's a good dramatic film. Like it was better than it had any right to be.
Fair enough.
And
still
it
sounds
spawned
draining.
a couple of straight to DVD bullshit sequels, not starring Ashton Kutcher.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so there's that. But yeah, there's a lot of great movies in 2004, but I really had enjoyed this movie at the time. I remember I have it on DVD, I'm sure somewhere, and I used to watch the shit out of this movie. For uppers, I just wanted to feel good about my day, and I just popped this one in.
There you go.
Good Lord, man.
Yeah.
All right, JP, hit us with a comedy.
Yeah, so Doug was right. There were a lot of good movies in 2004, and I'm not going to talk about any of those. I'm going to talk about EuroTrip, which I thought was a shitty direct to DVD, like garbage ass movie starring no one. God damn, was I so wrong. My father was watching this, and I started watching it. And
I like that your father introduced you to EuroTrip.
He did. He said it wasn't a shitty movie. So I watched it, and it wasn't a shitty movie. Fucking EuroTrip. It's just like a generic teenage. It's basically Road Trip, but in Europe.
It has had a much larger footprint on culture than Road Trip at this point.
100%. Everyone's thinking Scotty doesn't know.
Yeah. Scotty doesn't know is fucking still big.
My God. I think the scene that my dad sold me on was the little kid when he puts the little Hitler mustache on and starts fucking marching. And man, there are just so many stupid scenes like that in this movie.
Is Fred Armisen Miscusi?
Yes. Yes, he is.
Yes.
Yep. Fred Armisen's Miscusi, the weird molesting Italian guy who they get paired in the train car with. And every time they go through a tunnel, he starts touching them.
Dude, it's funny.
It's hilarious.
It's so much more ridiculous than Road Trip.
It is. And they do all of like the European stereotypes so very well. Like they go to England and there's
Vinnie
all the
Jones.
soccer hooligans with Vinnie Jones, and he pops both the beers off with his eyeballs.
Yeah, I mean, this was one of those movies where like I was like, I'm not watching this. It fucking looks like a corny directed DVD
it looks
movie.
so bad.
But like people just kept swearing on it. Again, my brother had the DVD.
Yep.
And then finally I ended up watching. I'm like, damn, this was legitimately a good movie.
This is one
and
of
fucking Matt Damon's in it.
Matt Damon is in it. And apparently he, I think, owed the director a favor or something like that. And he was filming pretty close by, I think, with the Bourne movies. And they just pulled him in for one of the
they were doing
one of
Bourne
the scenes.
Supremacy. And
Yeah.
he just went over and did it.
Oh, it's so good. This is one of the few movies I actually own on DVD. I do own this somewhere. I don't know where it is.
Full screen?
I don't think I had a choice.
Ooh. It's later DVD. So
yeah. I don't think I had a choice. One day I'm going to dig out all my full screen DVDs. We can throw them up on the Instagram page or something. Throw them on social media. And man, I had the male motherfucker thing as my text message ringtone for probably about 3 years because I absolutely love that. Such a good movie. EuroTrip is outkicked its coverage. It's so much better than it had any right to be.
Have the two of you seen it?
I have, but it's been so long. Scotty Doesn't Know is probably the biggest thing that I remember, which was hilarious at the time. I guess
It's
people still find it hilarious.
It's still funny.
Oh, it's big on TikTok now, I think.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that for a fact.
Because I'm sure Gen Z is just finding out that Matt Damon did this ridiculous song in a movie.
Does Gen Z know who Matt Damon is?
They might have seen him in like something. I don't know what they're up to.
That song is incredibly catchy. And then they hear it 3 or 4 times throughout the thing, and it's everywhere. And then it's the remix at the club. Oh,
shit.
I love this movie. I'm gonna watch it again sometime soon now. Thank you, 2004.
All right, and then I have a double header because the title is so similar. I had to do both of them. It was a zombie doubleheader. It is Dawn and Shaun of the Dead. We've got the Dawn of the Dead remake by Zack Snyder, and we've got the Edgar Wright classic Shaun of the Dead.
This kind of feels like cheating.
It's cheating, but I'm doing it. I threw it up there, and it's on there. Nobody challenged it beforehand. But yeah, Dawn of the Dead, I think, is one of the best remakes of all time. I saw the remake before I saw the original one. And I actually like the remake significantly more. Sorry, George Romero and all the zombie lovers out there. Fast zombies are just way scarier than slow zombies.
They really are.
Yep.
And the remake does such a good job of painting all the characters. Fucking Ty Burrell, it was like the first thing I ever saw him in. He plays an asshole so well, and then he ends up being the nicest dad on Modern Family. Sarah Polley, great protagonist. Ving Rhames, badass as always. That was back when he would be required to walk in his films. Because if you see him now in the Mission Impossible films, it's definitely in his contract where he is stationary at almost all times.
Does he not move?
No, he does not. If he moves, you see him walk for like 1 second.
Wow.
Go watch Mission Impossible Fallout. Fallout.
I did. It was very boring.
He does not fucking move at all in that movie.
Huh.
But yeah, it was just a badass, awesome debut from Zack Snyder. The way I was bummed out that he ended up doing a lot of the films he did after, just because they don't have that, just like excitement to them that Dawn of the Dead had. It had humor to it, and it just had awesome shocks.
It was very intense. That
yeah,
movie.
It's a good movie.
I mean,
That's probably my favorite zombie movies.
It was that and 28 Days Later. The two of those, like, a year apart, they kind of kick-started this whole zombie era that we've been in for the 21st century. I mean, Walking Dead accelerated it tremendously in
Are we still in it? We're out of it.
What's up?
I was questioning whether or not we're still in it, because it kind of feels like we're out of it.
It kind of feels,
Walking Dead.
It feels, we still have Walking Dead, the spinoffs. We're gonna have the Army of the Dead soon.
Oh yeah,
we're
still watch Walking Dead.
It's definitely not as big as it was when like World War Z was published, or the Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, or whatever that one was from Max Brooks. But
God, I had both those books.
It's still going on.
I think for Zack Snyder, this and probably going to be Army of the Dead as well. These types of movies they play so well to his very unique film style, like his directing style. I don't think he's, like you said, I don't think he's ever been able to really reach the same heights and just nail whatever he was trying to do just as well as this movie. Like, he nailed it with this, and it'll be interesting to see if he can, return to that with
Army. It's got one of the great opening scenes in a horror film. It is one of the pioneers of a post-credit scene, actually completing the story, not like teasing the next one. But it's something that I would definitely recommend people to watch. Like, give it another look if they haven't seen it in a while, or check it out for the first time. And then Shaun of the Dead, one of the great comedies of 2004. Like we talked about, there were a lot of them. This was one I didn't catch for a while after, maybe 2010 was the first time I watched it in
Oh
full.
wow, that late?
Yeah, it was after Hot Fuzz.
Wow.
Yeah, those two I watched basically back to back.
I saw this one
Around,
coming
I guess
out.
it was 2000. I think it was 2009. I caught both of them. It was before Paul came out, but yeah, man, it's just one of the most rewatchable comedies of all time. You're gonna find something new every time, just like you're gonna find something new in every Edgar Wright movie every time. The man just nails his screenplays down, so everything fits so tightly, and there's are so many callbacks if you're paying attention.
Mhm.
Yeah.
JP, I know you're just as big, if not more, of an Edgar Wright fan as I
Yeah.
am, and you watched this probably at least 3 or 4 years before I did, and love it as well.
Yeah, I love this movie. It was the first time I've ever seen a movie where you could just every time you watched it, there was something else that connects to everything. The movie is essentially just a mirror of the world before zombies and the world after zombies, and it's just so well done. The attention to detail is fantastic. The attention to detail in this movie is not as good as Hot Fuzz, because Hot Fuzz is probably the tightest comedy script that's ever been written. I honestly feel like there's not any wasted movement in there, but Shaun of the Dead's a goddamn masterpiece.
Yeah, him and Simon Pegg they knew what they were doing with that screenplay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, and then it doesn't make sense to wait another week. We talked about 2003 last week. Doug, you watched Orange County. Let JP hear your thoughts.
Yeah, tell me about it, Doug. Tell me how
It was
much you
okay.
loved it.
It was fine.
Just fine, huh?
Do anything for
fine.
me. Yeah, it was
His
okay.
Zac Efron liked it more than he did.
Yeah.
I always knew I liked your brother more.
We got
Really?
Okay.
we got
you
like
weren't-
one or two like
we got, I think,
chuckles out
one
of Doug.
legitimate laugh out of him.
Yeah.
In the movie.
Brian laughed
yeah.
a
He's
bunch.
sad.
I know.
Yeah, the laugh was the flashbacks to the girl making out with all the people.
Oh yeah.
The last
Tanya.
one got a legitimate laugh out of him.
That's a good one.
Tanya.
It's a funny scene.
But
Tanya,
Doug, you brought up an interesting point after we watched it. You felt like half the movie was just music.
Half the movie is music. I don't know that I was joking when I said that. I legitimately think half the movie is just music, and the other half is actual dialogue.
I don't think it's half the movie. I would
don't
say
think so.
it's at least 10 minutes of the 80-minute runtime, or less than 80-minute runtime.
I mean, they're basically were just like, all right, conversation, like it was just like end scene music, and it was like short scenes. I don't know. It was a little distracting, but the songs were good, so that helped.
Yeah. Fucking Orange County.
It's a great movie.
It's a mediocre.
Anyone else can watch it and let us know if they agree.
Yeah.
That it's either a great movie or a mediocre movie.
It's a classic.
We'd love to hear from you.
A classic.
All right. Next week we'll be on to 2005, the year of Revenge of the Sith, Batman Begins, Wedding Crashers, a bunch of other ones. Stay tuned to see which ones we want to talk about
That's
next
a
week.
good year too.
Yes.
It was. All right. Have a good one.
2005.
See ya.